Weird. Weird. Very weird. Not sure why that happened. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Anyway, I was asking, like, do I count as a LGBTQ elder at this point? I legitimately do not know. Well, yes, but our like again, I feel like it depends on who you ask, Tarand. I know certainly by the metrics of some of the platforms I'm on, I am old. Like, I'm definitely old by the standards of TikTok. Whoa! Standards of YouTube are a little different. Whoa, Jesus. Wah! Jeez. Okay, come here. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Oh, come on. Ugh. Ah! Good grief, this thing. Jesus. Crap! Cripes! Jeez, this game can be relentless. Whoa! Although, it's actually balanced for it, which is fascinating. Gah! Sorry I'm ignoring the chat. Obviously, kind of in a bit of a bind. Yeah! Okay. Oh, good grief! Yeah. Shit. Whoa. Oh. Thank you for the super chat, Dharma. Hi, everybody. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's funny, Amy. That can be what it feels like trying to dodge spoilers sometimes. You're not wrong. Oh. I hope you like it, Jen. I need to figure out... Well, I don't currently have access to Apple TV, but I am going to need to figure out at some point whether I'm going to try and see the show or read the books first, since that's now on the commission docket. The background fans remind me yesterday I was listening to a Star Trek Enterprise rewatch cast. At one point they joked about the fact that the alien space station they were sneaking through, the air vents seemed to have the same extra fans you can buy at Walmart. I mean, it's been noted in more than one sci-fi franchise that it's like, oh, look at that. All the readouts on the wall are just iPads. It's one of the reasons why it's kind of funny to go back and watch something like Star Trek The Next Generation, because like they had to actually make some stuff, whereas, and I'm not saying Star Trek itself has specifically done this, but like you watch a lot of other stuff, it's like, oh, you just stuck an iPad on a wall because it could display the image you wanted it to. Yeah! Come here. Whoa. You know what's funny about this game is it didn't occur to me until after the stream yesterday that this is a Thunder Lotus game, which is the Spirited Away people. Like, I'd played their game before this, Jotun, or Jotun. I forget how it's pronounced. I think it's Jotun. And I guess somewhere in the back of my head, I knew that there was a game that they did between Jotun and Spiritfarer. But it didn't, like, I had this in my wish list completely independent of realizing that it was that studio. Which is kind of funny. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Ah! Oh, not good, not good, not good, not good. Ooh, there we go. Watch the show tonight, give you my recommendation. Fair enough, Jen. Okay. Oh, crap. Yikes! Ah! Ah! I think last time this was where I got killed. What the frick? The frick is that? Jeez. Ah! Oh, come on! Ah! Yep, this thing's gonna kill me. I'm fairly confident of that. Oh, come on. Oh, I almost had him. Whew. Enjoy your shower scene, Dharma. Oh, okay. What was new? Reduce cannon recoil and incoming. Ooh. Yes, please. I like that. Oh, that's great, Dharma. Congratulations on that. Okay. All I want for tomorrow's episode is that if Mrs. Flood turns out to be the Ronnie, she says, leave the girl. It's the man I want for meme's sake. I don't know if that's a well-trodden enough meme for it to become an elevated meme. Okay. Oh, choices, choices, choices. Lots of areas to still scope out. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? All right. I think I'm in too deep. Well, yeah, we all have that thing. Bugs me a little bit that they cast a conveniently attractive cis man to play Murderbot because in the books uses its pronouns. People treat it like treat it as genderless. Oh, see, I know very little about Murderbot except it's supposed to be good. Okay. Yeah, that's right. There was nothing up there. Okay, so this time, why don't we go this way? So naturally, with this being the same studio behind Spiritfarer, the animation is, of course, absolutely frickin' gorgeous. What a shock. Aha! Thought so. What is this? Oh, okay. Whoa! Do they have a shared health? Boy, do I hope they have shared health and not individual health. Oh, I bet you it's not shared. Ah! Gee! All right, there's one down. All right, come here. Hey-ya! Okay, that hurt. Whoo! There we go. Hey, Phil. Good to see you. Whew. Well, thanks for stopping in, Jen. It was nice to have you. Okay. Oh. I am glad there was a fast travel option back to the central hub, since there really doesn't appear to be much else in the way of fast travel in this game. Let's see. All right. Imagine if you found out your cyborg soldier had broken its programming and activated free will, but instead of rising up, just decided to spend its free time watching soaps. I mean, hey, agency means doing whatever the heck you want, and if that's what you want to do, good on you. All right, let's see. Go. Okay. Oh, damn it. Ah, shit. Here we go again. There it is. There you are. I almost had you last time. I see you. Come here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Ah, crap! Damn it. Come on. Where are you? Come on! Come on! Gotcha. Whew. Oh, is that trailer out, Amy, or is that, like, been announced to be coming out? Because I hadn't heard anything about that. Rumors are it's coming out. Ah, one of those. So wait. Okay, so wait a minute. Sorry, give me a second. All right. Sorry, I was just checking something. So I can't get through that yet. Oh. Does casting assistment to play genderless cyborg count as non-binary erasure? I'm gonna call that a not straightforward instance. Whoa. What do I feel like I might have just locked myself into a bad ending doing that? Jeez. Okay. Here's what I would say. 255. I wouldn't necessarily call it a non-binary erasure, but I would call it a missed opportunity to not opt to cast non-binary, if that makes sense. There's a couple of good songs in the second act of Wicked. The second act is by far the weaker of the two, though. I don't really think there's much debate on that issue. And it's going to be the one that I think is going to be much harder to adapt because they can't just... Well, I mean, they could, but adapting it straight is probably not the best idea. But, you know, the question is, will they take the opportunity to do something else or not? And who knows? Whoa! Yeah, No Good Deed is the best song of the second act. For Good's pretty good. But yeah, most of the second act is just kind of fine. Like, honestly. Yeah. Whoa! Whoa. Yeet. Whew. I thought during the new Superman trailer, they never used to bother me, but now the red trunks look silly to me after several years of seeing Superman without them. I think he looks better with the red trunks. Honestly, I think it's needed to break up the a rather uniform color palette. but not everybody likes them. I think they work. Oh, and in case anyone is wondering about my thoughts on the Superman trailer, it's up in the Patreon page. I don't really do the trailer reactions on YouTube anymore because all the studios decided to start being real dicks about it. Again. We had a few years where they seemed to understand that it was free publicity. But no, they decided to start claiming stuff again, so screw them. Okay. Good stuff. So wait, did that open both sides? That opened both sides. Okay. I really do like the Eldritch language they're using in this. I know authentic is a weird term to use when discussing a made-up language, but, you know, it's still what comes to mind. Damn it. Okay, so I can't go that way. What's this way? Jeez. I can't get up there. Gee. Now I can. Come on, open up, open up, open up, open up. There we go. That'll also open that. Cool, 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 cool. Can't get up that way yet. Oh, now or which way is that gonna open? This way? This way. Okay. It's just the general corporate mentality of this is ours. You know, why should reactors be making money off what we do? Because, like, keep in mind, it's very rare that they block the videos. They just claim the revenue in most cases. So... Whoa! Oh! Okay. Hi. Ah! Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! The frick? Oh! Gee! Okay. Ha! How close do I have to get to do damage? Alright, what do I hit to do damage? Aha! Answer to that question. Ah! Ow! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Damn it. Get out of here. Oh, now you move around. I gotcha, I gotcha. I see you. Ow. 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 That hurt. Crap, crap, crap. Come on. Get out of here. Piss off, you fuckers. It's impressive when an art style can, whoa, still work well this zoomed out. Come on. Oh, stay still. All right, so that's one. Whoa, that's one. Got two more of those to go. Come here. Come on. Shit. Boy. Whoa! Ah! Okay, that hurt. Oh, crap. Oh, Jesus! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, 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 come on. All right, that's two. That's two. Get this gone. Get you gone. Move. Okay. All right, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Last one, last one, last one. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, 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 come on. Come on. Shit. You asses, get out of here. Fuck. Freaking crawler nightmare. Ah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Ah! There it is. Damn. Whew. Again, you have to understand, like, corporate mentality. And corporate mentality is nobody should be making money off what we do except us. And if we don't have control over the people who are making money, i.e. we can't control what the influencers say, then we better at least be getting the money for it. Like, that is a corporate mentality. Is there an argument against it? Of course, absolutely. There's some really good arguments against being like that. That being said, they don't care. Like, every now and then, somebody will get in a position to go, hey, wait a minute. We're hurting our own unofficial marketing with the way that we're being about this. But like that is like it comes and goes is how it really seems. Seems like sometimes they get that, but then there's some shakeups and change in leadership, and whoever made the decision to not be a jackass was promoted or went somewhere else or was squeezed out, and whoever's there now decides to be a jackass. And when I say there, I don't necessarily mean, top of the heap, but, in whatever position was making that call. I do like the non-linear progression on this, which means I don't, being trounced by that boss does not mean I immediately have to go back to that same area. There's other areas opened up that I can take a crack at instead. Which not all Metroidvanias do. Right, I don't have a way through that yet. Do I? No. That's why. All right. I wonder. Oh, I can. I had wondered about that, if I could keep that shooting. I can. Need to remember that. Where did this put me out? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to go back and fight him again quite yet. I might take another crack at him before the stream ends, but let's do some other areas for now, shall we? Okay, yep, so there's that, and I can't get around that. So the question is it the same thing blocking me off from all the other areas? I can't remember. Ooh, and what's up there? I'm gonna check that. I mean, like, honestly, the real annoying thing is it's usually when corporations aren't doing so well that they start being the jackasses again. Okay. Because, when you feel like your growth is stagnated, that's when you stop doing anything that was considered nice. I think it was Innuendo Studios who said something to the effect of, it's real easy to say, we stand by our principles and or we'll do this thing that's good for everybody when times are good. But what do you do in the lean times? That's when it reveals whether you were only doing the quote-unquote right thing because it didn't hurt your bottom line, and the instant that bottom line is threatened, even if by something else, if you go back on it, that says a lot. And that's pretty much always the case. I mean, it's what we're seeing right now with a lot of corporations backing off their DEI initiatives because Trump and his... I'm sorry, I've gotten into politics. I'm just going to say this quick. Because, Trump and his ghouls have declared DEI the spawn of Satan. And so you have a bunch of corporations ditching it because they never really believed in it anyway. They did it because they believed to their financial benefit. And now the instant they think it isn't, they stop it. It's same principle. corporations are amoral entities. I say it often for a reason. Not immoral, but amoral. They have none. I was thinking when watching something like a Superman movie that is supposed to be set in our world, but our world would be so different without Superman as a fictional character. Well, yeah, that's unfortunately one of the issues with trying to do, especially a hero like Superman, quote unquote, more realistic. Like the fundamental basics of the world would pivot and change around him. They'd have to. Although, like, from that trailer, it does look like the new movie might be confronting that somewhat, which would be really interesting. We'll see if that ends up ultimately being the case. All right, I can't get over there. Okay, so that's what the holdup there was. Okay. And like that same thing that you mentioned, 255, I think that's why over time the MCU has kind of embraced the unreality of its own setting as it's gone on, because you kind of have to. Well, like one of two things has to happen. Either like nothing that your heroes or what happens to the world sticks, because you have to reset it back to as close to our world as possible, or you accept that it's going to become more unrealistic as it goes, which is what the MCU has largely done. And I generally think is the more interesting choice, creatively speaking. I know you've probably mentioned liking the idea of Doctor Who companion not being from... You've previously mentioned the idea of a Doctor Who companion not being from Earth. I've been mulling over whether if the show went down such a route, if they would look human or not. There'd be a lot of consideration / explore if they didn't, as humans really don't have a good track record of accepting anyone who looks different. I mean, there are also far more practical matters to have a companion who does not look human, which is you need to find someone willing to be put in that kind of extensive makeup for every episode. And like that is a big ask. There have been, across sci-fi series there have been actors who have dropped out of those kinds of shows simply because they couldn't handle the makeup anymore. Like, and in some cases it's like I just can't deal with this, like on a psychological level, and in some cases on a physical level. Virginia Hay left Farscape because the blue body paint that was being used on her started to seep into her pores and was impacting her frickin' liver. it's a whole area of issues. Yeah. I mean, there's also the fact that Doctor Who has a pretty lengthy history at this point of establishing that there's plenty of human appearing species out there. So, like, you wouldn't have to have them appear non-human in order to have a non-human companion. And, like, for me, ultimately, the dynamic of not having to explain everything as if, you know, the companion has a contemporary Earth basis of knowledge is what I'm way more interested in. You know, I look back at classic companions like Leela, and I just find the dynamic so much more interesting than a lot of the contemporary companions of then and now. And that, I mean, that's more what I'm looking for. Like, are there interesting things that you could explore if you had a one that also didn't appear human? Sure, but speaking personally, at least, I wouldn't find those as interesting as just the difference in knowledge base would mean for the overall dynamic. Again, I think Leela would be my go-to example of that if you know your classic Doctor Who. Although Romana's a pretty good example as well. I think I've died to this horde before. Actually, I'm pretty positive I've died to this horde before. Jesus. God damn, man. Let me guess, I won't be able to break through from here? Of course not. Good grief. One of the Doctor Who novels is established the Time Lords give off a morphic field that compels other races to evolve into a form resembling them. That seems needlessly pedantic as a way to answer, like, oh, why do they all look human? Who cares? Again, that's sort of where my writer brain comes in a bit. I mean, not even just writer, but just, you know, knowing, you know, what the reality of why it's like that. You know, my immediate thought is, like, who cares? Why does that need an explanation? Like, especially if you're not going to actually explore it much, and it's just a thing that you put in there to explain a quote-unquote plot hole that isn't even really a plot hole. Like, again, I'm bringing up Farscape a fair bit. There's a neat little quiet moment in Farscape where Crichton is facing down Crais. They've captured Crais. And Crais has been tracking Crichton and has been relentlessly hunting him all of that season. This is end of the first season. And Crichton's looking at him, you know, in the cell that they've got him in. And he's like, you know, it hurts so much that I look at you and it feels like I should be able to talk about stuff from home, but I can't. And Crais, I forget his full line, but Crais says something along the lines of, do you really think it's coincidental that our species look so much alike? And he's not really alluding to, like, some shared core origin species. He's just talking about, like philosophically, we bear way more similarities than I think you are prepared to confront or be comfortable with. Because, like, fundamentally, the The Sebaceans and humans physiologically bear very little resemblance. The Sebaceans are practically reptiles, biologically speaking. They are literally cold-blooded. Yes, perhaps another companion from another time period like Leela. Do agree the companion formula does need to change. Well, Leela was literally from another planet. She wasn't just time displaced. Jamie was just time displaced. He was also more interesting. Let's see. Where do I want to go from here? Where do we go from here? All right. So the question is, do I want to take another crack at Big Dude in the Chair? I guess so. Then again, you know what? The more I think about it, like, I probably, and this will probably be consistent for me. Excuse me, consistent for me. I think Farscape is probably the show I will cite the second most often behind Doctor Who. Like, I deeply love Farscape. And really do feel it's underappreciated in the television sci-fi pantheon. Because I think it's top tier. I absolutely adore it. Ah, shit. Shit. I mean, Farscape has this wonderful, bizarre, raucous energy. Has one of my all-time favorite villains. Has some of my all-time favorite characters. Had really, thanks to Henson Creature Shop, really astounding alien designs at times. Like, the core concepts were really neat. I thought Crichton was a great lead character. It's a great show. Okay. You. All right. Ah. Come here. Oh, shit. Shit. All right, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Damn it. Ow! God. When he breaks through my shield, this guy hits like a freight train. Shit. 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 Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get out of here. Damn it! Come on. Come on. That's one down. Ooh. damn it. All right. Ah, shit! Jesus! Oh, he just pounded the hell out of me with that one. Fuck. Ah, shit. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I've heard about that, Tariq. A Dorothy from Hotel Reverie era wise companion might be called. That could be interesting. Okay. It's always, I feel like it's always the case when there's a boss that takes multiple tries to get, that you have a harder time with them on your first several subsequent tries than you did your first go. And so like you come back, you're like, oh, I almost took him on the first try. I bet I can get him next time. And then he's like, why am I doing so much worse than I did the first time when I didn't know what his deal was? I feel like that's frequently the case. Okay, I feel like I've opened up the straight shot to him now. Yeah, the OBS has been randomly disconnecting for reasons I don't know why, Ms. Wicked Wolf. I think that's why that's happening. How do you feel about Doctor Who having aliens just be common knowledge instead of there being a cover-up every invasion like they tried early in the revival era? I think, honestly, I think that they're striking a decent balance with what they're doing now, which is like, in theory, it should be common knowledge, but some people just refuse to believe it because it doesn't fit into their worldview. I feel like that tracks pretty well. Like, I get why they did the nonstop cover-up thing early on, but it's not only stretches credulity, but it gets old after a while. Although, that having been said, it would not be such an issue if they didn't do so many stories set on frickin' Earth. Ah, damn it! Oh, shit! Whew. That was close. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright, that's one down. Oh. Ow! Thank you, Dharma, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Oh. All right, come on. Damn it. Shit. Come on, give me a break. What the flip? Ha 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 ha. Where are you? Okay, there you are. Shit. Come on. God damn it. Oh, fuck. God damn, man. Ah ha ha ha! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. All right. Almost got you, almost got you, almost got you. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on! Come here, come here, come here. Come on! Ha! Mm. Whew. Let's see. Okay. Now where do I go? Ain't that the question? Oh. I don't think I want to go to an ability shrine right now. Okay. All right. Whoa. Hey, Jennifer. I just took down I think my first proper boss. I think everything I'd taken on up to then was technically a mini boss. And thanks for stopping in, Amy. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, I went that way before. That's not where I want to be right now. Which means I gotta go back up. Nope. What the hell? Whoa, whoa, whoa. The hell? It's weird. Yeah, me calling something weird in this game. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay. I did think having the government covering up the fact aliens don't exist be the conspiracy theory position in Doctor Who was a clever idea. Yeah, I think so too. And like, I think it makes sense for the kind of conspiracy that might take hold in that setting. Because like, you think about the way a lot of conspiracy theories in the real world form, and I'll go light on this because it dips into politics real quick, because conspiracy theories are inherently deeply political. That having been said, you know, there's always this idea that like, oh, there's one of two things, and they dovetail into each other when it comes to conspiracy theories. There is, they are hiding something from us, conspiracy theories, and there is, they are telling us a lie, conspiracy theories. You know, they are hiding something from us is basically every aliens landed and it's been covered up theory, and they're lying to us about something that they say happened but didn't. That's your fake moon landings. That's your 9/11 was an inside job, etc. But the reason I say they dovetail into each other is because if you're going to say, you know, okay, the moon landing was faked, there's a reason that at least the forward-facing elements of that conspiracy theory tend to focus on the how and not the why, because you dig into the why, and that's where you'll find the racism, the anti-Semitism, the fascism, etc., etc., etc. Jesus, these frickin' things. Whoa. Yeah. What's with these phantom versions? What is that? That's new. Whew. The combat in this game is relentless. But, like, again, in a way that is oddly balanced. And by oddly, I don't mean, like, they balanced it weird, but I mean, like, it's strange to me that something can feel this overwhelming and yet also feel this balanced. It's really, I'm kind of astounded, to be honest. They're often just what the opposite of what the consensus is. I mean, that's true as well. Conspiracy theory appeals to contrarians. That's not the only thing it appeals to, but there's an element of that in a lot of it, or at least in terms of the initial appeal of it to a lot of people. Aha! Shortcut, baby! Cool. Nice. Glad to have that. Whew. Okay. I can't get up that way. Okay. Oh. Finally made it to alive. Hey, Becca, good to see you. Watched all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies to get inspired. I mean, one of the main characters is like Mexican Indiana Jones / Star Wars Spider-Man mask. I should try revisiting the 3rd Guardians movie. I did not like it as much as a lot of people did. But I liked it well enough that it is... What the hell? You're new. But I liked it well enough that it does leave me asking the question, like, did I deeply not like it? Or, like, was there something that bugged me, but maybe I'll be over it next time I watch it? I don't know. It could go either way. What the hell? Why am I blocked off? I came that way. Shit. That's not good. Why do I suspect it's you? Jesus. Fuck. God damn. Shit. Oh, boy. Oh, they came in hard and fast. Which is sometimes how I like it, but not today. Whew. Okay. Okay. So trans mask wearing a mask. Ah, I see what you did there. Just the random tentacles that kind of just come licking out at some points. It's nicely unsettling. Yeah, I'm not going that way. Apparently, some Who fans saying Conrad's mom slapping him. Was him unreliable narrator to Ruby because he wouldn't have brought his mother. I really, really think that people fundamentally do not understand what that slap was about and why it makes sense. And I'm hoping that it's for reasons of innocence, because they are existing in a worldview that says if a parent hit their child, that child would not support them, financially later in life. And obviously Conrad did. The problem with that view is that, unfortunately, it is frequently untrue. If you've had the chance to talk with, I don't mean to get overly political on this, but you find it a lot more with politically minded people. Yeah, I was disciplined as a kid, but it's fine. I came out fine, and I have my parents to thank for that. If you have a fundamental, unshakable belief that you are fine and good, and you credit your parents with that, people will ascribe a good thing to the abuse they suffered. Like that moment we are talking about 2 episodes ago, Doctor Who. I'm not going to have us talk about the previous episode. At this point, I'm okay talking about this, but just be aware of spoilers. I might have to do a supplementary video, maybe here in the break room on this, because it makes so much sense that if he was raised in a household where the belief that you're lying was met with violence, and if he grew up thinking that's how the world should be, and it would track that that's how he grew up because he's taking care of his mother and clearly doesn't feel that she abused him improperly, he seems to think that whatever abuse he suffered was justified. That means that he embraced her worldview that lying is met with violence, which completely fits into his worldview and the actions he takes. And it's frustrating to me, the knots that people are tying themselves into, trying to explain something that, to me at least, and I'm not trying to, I'm more intelligent, but to me is immediately self-evident what was going on. And I'm seeing and hearing people tie themselves in knots over that slap. And I don't get what they don't get. Oh, shit. It's fucking cultists, man. God, the screams when the horde starts coming. Holy crap. Come on, frickin' cultists. Give me a break. Sons of... Get out of here. Jesus. Come here, you. Oh. Just to be clear, I think that reading of the episode is wrong and kind of offensive. The one that I gave, or the one that, the one you quoted? And, like, I don't always assume that just because you shared something that's going around that it's your own belief. Oh, the one you quoted. That's what I figured you meant, just double checking. Yeah, like, I don't assume that that's something that you yourself are adopting. Like, I know that it's not uncommon for me to just get asked, hey, here's a thing people are saying. What do you think about that? Jesus. Come here, you freaking cultists, man. You know what's kind of fun about the cultists? They have a lot of shielding, but once the shield's gone, they're down in like one hit. That's like cool. That's like a cool world building touch. That like they're not strong, but they're like defended. They have access to things that help them. God damn son of a bitch. God damn. What the hell? Oh. Holy crap. Why are Pete McTie's episodes so divisive? I don't know. I don't know. They just have been. Personally, I didn't like Lucky Day, but for a whole lot of other reasons. Still would say season 2 has been pretty solid so far. It has been solid. Like, while there have been standout episodes, I don't think we've had a standout on the caliber of 73 Yards or Dot and Bubble. And at this point, I'm kind of not expecting that we will. So it's one of those situations where, like, they raised the floor and lowered the ceiling. Like, the worst of this season is better than the worst of season 1, but the best of this season is not as good as the best of season 1. Hmm. First Guardians movie is probably by far still the best. I have a soft spot for the second movie for very personal reasons. The third movie also felt personal in a way that made me cry more. I like the second one best, personally. Second, first, third. That's my ranking on those. At least to my memory. The third one's the only one I haven't rewatched. The second one went up in my estimation on a rewatch. The third one I haven't done a rewatch on yet, so I don't know what'll happen to its placement. Alright, come here. Son of a... Come here. Shit! Oh, crap! Jeez, where'd they all come from? Shit! Shit! Shit. Oh, fuckers. Whew. Local co-op. That's interesting. Never gonna do that, but okay. Oh, I just barely can't afford that. Okay. Whew. A take I do agree with is that I think they made Doctor harsher with Conrad than he normally is with villains because his speech is really directed at real life Conrads. I mean, that might be the meta reason. I took the in-universe reason being that he did something really harmful to Ruby. Like, this is the Doctor defending his friend. So that was the reason that, or at least the in-universe and narrative reason why he went that harsh. At least to my way of seeing it. Now, what's another thing with this game, with the way it's balanced? You feel real confident for as long as you've still got shield left. The instant that breaks, boy, do you feel it. Whew. Shit. Damn it. Oh, come on. Shit. Why can't I? Ah. There we go. Fuck. Fuck! Jeez! Yikes! Ugh. Speaking of being reliant on shield, it reminds me of how some culture ships literally have things like external balconies because they just totally rely on shields to hold air. I mean, yeah, talk about being cocky, sure. How do I rank the Suicide Squad with the Guardian movies? I would not think to compare the two. Like, just because they're both James Gunn, they're doing pretty different things in terms of intentions. Like, there's a similar ragtag group thing, but, you know, just the R rating on the Suicide Squad already gives it a pretty different feel, at least to my way of thinking about things. So, I don't know if I'd actually... If it wasn't for James Gunn's involvement, it wouldn't even occur to me to compare them. Because, like, Suicide Squad is, to a certain extent, about, you know, a camaraderie. But it's not really about found family to the extent that Guardians is. I would actually call Creature Commandos closer to Guardians of the Galaxy than the Suicide Squad. I mean, the Guardians movies are James Gunn's working within the, you know, the restrictions of PG-13, which, like, people tend to talk about restrictions on artists as a net negative. I really don't think that's the case. I think a lot of artists make their best decisions and do their best work under a certain amount of restrictions. I mean, the classic example of that is Jaws. You know, they wanted to show a lot more of the shark, but the frickin' animatronic shark kept breaking. So the way that they did it through underwater POV and just the music, like, it's better. It's better than seeing more of the shark would have been, and I feel very safe saying that. So, you know, I don't treat restrictions as a net negative the way a lot of people tend to. Like, honestly, a lot of artists, when they have nobody telling them no, do their worst work. Like, I look at George Lucas and a lot of the decisions made with the prequel trilogy. And, like, the prequel trilogy certainly has its defenders, and honestly, a lot of what it was trying to do, at least, a lot of its core ideas have aged really well. But there's also a lot of stuff in there that it's like, George really needed somebody to tell him no. George really needed somebody to tell him, you know, maybe Anakin should be like 13 as opposed to 9. Or, you know, I don't think this Jar Jar character is as funny as you think he is. But nobody did. So, there you go. Sheesh, they come at you hard in here. I already said I don't want it hard and fast tonight. Can I get some gentle lovin' up in here? Ugh. Fuck. In the early 90s, my grandparents went on the Jaws ride during a trip to Universal. I'd like to say the shark animatronic is my family's home movies was more realistic than actual Jaws. Honestly, it probably was. Because the thing is, even when that fake shark was working, it didn't look great. It doesn't look very good in the finished movie. But the thing is, because of how hard the music and the atmosphere and the underwater photography and the characters sell it, it doesn't have to be the most convincing animatronic in the world. Because they sold it in other ways. Which, to me, aside from just making for a better story, is also the more impressive artistic achievement. What's funny, like, I don't know if it's changed over the years, but what's funny about the Universal Jaws ride, at least when I went on it, was that the way they handled the way the shark was defeated in that was actually pulled from Jaws 2, which I find funny, just on principle. Ah, you have frickin' taken me out before. And I think you're going to try to again. Shit! God damn, man. Fuck! I'm gonna die. I am going to die. Shit! Jeez! Well, there is that, Robin, yeah. And, like, I call that less a fault of the movie than just a problem with people. You know what I mean? All right. Keep getting my butt handed in this area. Yes, Ms. Wicked Wolf, I've been to Universal Studios. Just once, but yes. To be fair, I think some parents would have complained if it said literally went up in a bloody gas explosion like the first one. Oh yeah, no, like logistically I get why they did it that way too, 55. I still find it funny though. I agree with that, Becca. Best time I had at Epcot was absolutely as an adult. Going, ooh, what's the drink in this country? Ooh, champagne. Ooh, sake. Ooh, rosé. $20-freaking-7. You said to the 43-year-old, oh, 27. I remember turning 27. Oh. By the way, with regard to the video you've got coming out, do some people really think most professional YouTubers are doing really well? Because I've never got that impression. I think that a good chunk of the audience either doesn't particularly think about it or they assume that we must be doing okay. And there's certainly people who like look at somebody like Mr. Beast and are like, oh, well, obviously YouTube makes you a lot of money. It's like, no, no, it does not. This job sucks from a financial standpoint. For what you make versus the number of hours you put into it, this job sucks, man. Shit! God, the instant they fuck... Oh my God! That's not good. Jesus. Yikes. Okay, I think we're going to call it there. Holy crap. Whew. Good grief. I can't afford that. Do I want to save up or do I want to work my way to this stuff? Hold on, what's that? Ooh. All right, we're gonna call it a stream. So tomorrow is a new video on the main channel talking about realities of YouTuber financials, which is a topic I covered about a year ago. I have reason to revisit it. So that'll be Saturday's video. A new episode of Jumpgate on Monday. I will try and have the review of the latest Doctor Who episode out on Tuesday. I think, next week, Tuesday, will be the last review for the most recent season of Black Mirror. I think that about covers it for what's coming up in the immediate. So thank you all very much for joining me. This has been fun. There's a chance I'll play this in my off time. So assuming I don't end up beating it between now and next week, I'll probably still be playing this when we come back to streaming next week. So thank you for joining me. Be well, be safe, and be kind. I'll see you.